Okay, so we're having a go here at making some vinegar ultimately, and the intermediate phase from apples is cider. So these fermentation butts, we pummel some cider, some apples, push them, crush them to get them in there, and only added a tiny bit of water and a tiny bit of sugar actually, but not a lot. And they've been fermenting in the house for about a month. And now it's a question of, I've made a lot of cider over the years, but I've never done it quite like this with the whole apples in there. Because previously what I've done is crush the apples and you get the juice out, put the juice in these barrels, and it turns quite cleanly into cider. And here we've got a good old mix and mash of actual apples as well as the fermenting juice. So what I'm thinking to do is to do it by siphoning. I'll just show you some. That's what I siphoned earlier from this one. About 10 litres came out, and that's what it looks like. And when you siphon, if you haven't done it before, you get a mouthful at the beginning. And I did swallow it, it's cider, and oh yeah, I can feel it a bit. It's clearly got some alcohol in. So the idea is, what I'm planning is to leave it in these jars, but open to air, with a seal just to stop flies going in, but allowing the cider to turn into vinegar. Question then is, do we need a vinegar mother? Well, I've made vinegar successfully without using a mother, but I think a mother might speed it up. And if you haven't met a vinegar mother before, it's the sort of gloopy stuff of cider lump which you get on top of cider when it turns into vinegar. So all vinegars have a mother, rather like a kombucha, I believe. So the level of the hose is now in there, quite low, and I need to go lower than that to get it out by force of gravity. But it's not going to flow on its own. I've got to actually start it by sucking out, and then I'm going to direct the tube into there. So let's see what happens. We have a flow. That looks promising. And you can see it's not perfectly clean. There are bits of apple. That's fine. We can sieve that out even after it's turned into cider. What I just need to do now is to monitor the levels. At the bottom of this container is the yeast from the fermentation. I think I might be sucking a bit of that out actually, because you can see by the difference in colour. Although some of that difference in colour actually is from, in here there's more cider apples, and in there were more cooking apples, and cooking apples make quite a pale cider, pale yellow, as opposed to that lovely golden yellow of cider apples. And the other difference will be, and it will come through to the vinegar, is the flavour difference, which is cider apples being more tannic. That's that kind of leathery, mouth drying quality that you get in real farmhouse cider, such as people make around here. And these apples did come from a cider orchard. So, well, some did it, where quite often people do plant cooking apples. I think this is slowing down quite a bit because it's got slightly blocked, and there's not quite enough gravity. The more gravity you can give it, in other words, the lower I can get this end, the faster the flow will be. It's actually not too bad. If I could just get that a bit more down. I can put this one down here. I'm hoping, I was hoping to get 10 litres out, and I'm not going to, because it's already, the level seems to have reached the bottom. I'm going to finish the video at this point. We'll carry on doing this. If you want to find out more about how we made this cider, have a look on my Instagram feed. About a month ago, mid to early November, and you'll see Adam Wood, who's actually filming this, was crushing the apples with a piece of wood. Quite pagan and primitive, but actually also very effective. And this is absolutely not about getting the most juice from the apples, partly because around here they grow like a weed, apple trees. We're lucky to have loads of apples. It's more about just getting the vinegar in the most efficient, quickest way possible. And it's one of many ways. I'm not claiming it's the best way or the only way, but it's just a way. And yeah, cheerio.